All right, we got pre-market pricing going on here. We got about 13 minutes, 14 minutes for the market opens. So we'll just go through my list of popular momentum stocks here, which are back under selling pressure. First one was MARA, Marathon Digital. This thing's been in a nice uptrend. Um, I'd look for price to pull back closer to this 50 moving average. This is a buying opportunity here around this 50 average. Looking at the longer term of this chart, I say this is pretty high risk. Um, this thing is up a lot in a short amount of time, and these previous peaks can be resistance. So right now, we're kind of at a resistance area here. Um, Another one up here around, up around $120. So that's about another 100% upside from here if it's going to go there. So I definitely look for price to hold this 50 MA and to stay above the cloud to stay in a trade like that. I think it's just getting pretty overextended here. CAN, Canon Incorporated. This stock is still above the cloud and holding a 50 MA, but we've had a TK cross up here, and price is being suppressed by this 9 moving average now. We're down another 3% pre-market here. So this could be a buying opportunity. It gives you a nice tight range to place a stop loss if it can't hold the 50 MA or the cloud. One of the problems with this stock is it's gapped up quite a bit, so all this area here, there's no support until we get down into this area down here around between $7 and between $4 and $7, this range here. Let's look at a longer term here. This stock is gapped up considerably. Pretty high risk. All of this gap up area here, there is no support. So if price falls below basically this flat area of the cloud right here at 14, well, let's call it $15. Price should fall below here. Could come all the way back down to the $5-6 range. I don't like to get involved in something that's up that much in such a short amount of time. So this TK cross right here was actually a take profit opportunity. If you were in this, I would take profits there, and I would look for, I would wait to get back in when I see these moving averages cross again. I'd like to see price above the 9 MA and the 9 MA above the Kijinsen line here in red. So I'd just be careful with that right there. RIOT starting to look a little weak. It's trying to hold an uptrend, but I'm seeing this this bit of a downtrend. I'd like to see this break. As long as this little downtrend line here stays in play, this could remain under selling pressure here. And the moving averages lines are kind of crossing, but we're staying above them, so we've got kind of some mixed signals going on here. I wouldn't necessarily be wanting to buy that there. ZOM has fallen below the cloud, indicating this is now a resistance area here at about $1.50. You've got downtrending pressure from the 9 MA. I think yesterday was just kind of an oversold bounce. People thinking the new low price is an opportunity, but there are still plenty of sellers in this stock. This thing has gapped up pretty big from clear down here at 15 cents. So 15 cents to $1.50 or $1.40, you know, that's about 1,000% gain. So I had a trade on this. I closed it. I had a stop loss on this, and I see this potentially still going down at least to $1 here. Not a lot of support in these areas. This thing is just gapped up too much. So I think the stock now is waiting for the next catalyst. I think that I read an article where investors are going to be waiting to see if they can start growing their earnings. Fundamentals have been pretty bad with this company for a long time, I understand. So I'm out of that. I'm just going to steer clear of that until I see a new uptrend. At least need to see price break back above the cloud and above these moving averages here. MSTR, downtrending pressure. Flat area of the cloud here is strong resistance. Top areas of the cloud are resistance as well. And we've got a pretty thick downtrending cloud forming here. Sometimes I like to look at the other time frames to give me more perspective of where resistance areas are. So this is a 4-hour chart. We're trying to get some support from an uptrending Tinkinson line here, but we're encountering the cloud, and so I'm looking for this price to turn down. I see kind of this downtrend. You can kind of picture a downtrend line here. So I use the cloud. Sometimes I'll draw lines. This stock is up a lot. There's a kind of an area of support right in here around 588. BLOK. Let's go back to our daily chart here. So this stock's kind of bouncing between an area of support and resistance here. I think if we keep reacting and failing at this point, potentially putting in a triple top, this area of resistance will only get stronger if we keep reacting there and getting defeated like that, and could potentially push this stock down to the next support area, which is kind of this zone right here. Again, this is gapped up quite a bit, so this is basically its last level of good support, and from there we fall below the cloud and we'll encounter downtrending pressure that can be difficult to defeat. So I would avoid buying this right here. I would at least look for it to break above this resistance area, but in doing that you're buying it at all-time high, so I'm really not liking that. So I've sorted them over here by this morning's top losers pre-market in my list here. CLSK, downtrending pressure with that. IDEX, Ideanomics, downtrending pressure, we're below the cloud. Strong resistance area here from flat area of the cloud at about 350, 360. We're trying to get back above the 9MA, but we reacted here near the bottom of the cloud, and we have this downtrending Kijinson line here. All of our moving average lines are downtrending, which is not good for stock price. So I see downside risk in this. We have this kind of uptrending channel here, and we reacted near the top of the channel. So that top right here aligns with these other tops on a 10-year chart. We see these peaks. I've drawn this downtrending line along these peaks, and that's right where we've reacted again here. We can see in the history this thing can spend months just bleeding off. Okay. This was a big oversold reaction down here, COVID crash, and we've rallied back out of that to test the high end of the range here. So I'm really not liking, I see that with a lot of these momentum stocks. They were just way oversold. I think they're pumped up on a lot of hype and expectations. That's why I would prefer to trade this kind of momentum and hype rather than invest in it. Just buying something like this and just thinking it's a long-term investment can damage your portfolio. So we have a lot of downtrending pressure here as well. We're trying to get back above the Tenkan-sen, but we're still pretty tight with it. And we've got Kijun-sen right here, which is flattening out. So this is downtrending pressure right here at about 26.50, and we're below the cloud. The cloud's getting pretty thick over here, so I don't see these momentum stocks going anywhere anytime soon, really. DNN, Denon Energy Corp. This thing's trying to get above the cloud. This flat area here is could be considered support now. Let's see, $1.24 this morning, so we're this could be a decent area to place a trade, but I really don't like the long-term outlook on this chart. You're basically hoping for a brand new uptrend to take place, and I just see a lot of risk in that. CTRM, this thing has had a gap down. It might try to pull back up and test this downtrending Tenkan-sen line here, but I would steer clear of that. AMC, this thing has kind of surprised me. It's holding in there better than I thought, but still resistance here at $11. That resistance area has been in play for quite a while here. And then DM, we got downtrending momentum here. Downtrending pressure. NEO, I have a trade on this based on this kind of double bottom. We didn't make a new low, but we're encountering downtrending pressure here. It can take time for these things to work out. We kind of reacted here. We may try to push up again. Okay, we've got the market open now. So here's our current price right here this morning. See how this looks on a 4-hour chart. Yep, see how we're reacting to the top of the cloud on the 4-hour chart. So I bought this I ended this trade basically on a pullback bounce, and I plan to take profit if it can get up here to test the cloud. I'm not sure if it's going to get there. We're reacting to this downtrending Kijun-sen line now. But I think the fact that it didn't make a new low is kind of interesting with this. 50 moving average, we've reacted there a couple times here. So this could kind of go either way now. It's just going to take time for it to chew through these resistance areas. Plug Power, still downtrending pressure here. Didn't put in a new low yet. We kind of had this cluster of candles here where it's kind of a little bit of a support area right here. So it's kind of normal to react here. Maybe we go down and test it again, and could eventually fail that support area. With all this downtrending pressure, it just kind of bounces back and forth until it decides which direction it's going is, which one's going to fail. What's stronger, the downtrending pressure or the support area? It all depends on market environment and sentiment. Some of these stocks still have a lot of sellers, a lot of people that they got in early, or other people that got in late and they just want to escape the losses. People have more reasons to sell than they do to buy. You can sell to put your money somewhere else. You can sell to stop loss, take profit. But we buy for one reason, to make money, right? This has started off as a morning loser and is now in the green. Open Door Technologies, but we're in the downtrend here. Kind of trying to form a support area right here at about $20. Still risky below all this downtrending pressure though. Fuel cell, some of these clean energy EV related stocks look like they're trying to bottom. We've reacted to this support area here a couple times, and we didn't make a new low here. So I'm actually in this as a short-term swing trade as well, but I have a feeling these are going to come to bite me. I just play with a very small account on these. I like the idea of long-term investing in good companies better than trying to swing trade these things. But basically, you want to look for long positions when you're above the cloud, above Kijun-sen like this. So this right here is a very risky trade. You're basically bottom fishing. And you can see on the 4-hour chart how we're reacting to the bottom of the cloud here. We tried to have an uptrending Tenkan-sen line here, and now we've fallen below it. So I'll probably just close these trades. I may have a small amount of profit in this still. I'd have to look. PLTR, downtrending pressure from the cloud on the 4-hour chart. I entered this trade based on this support area here. Very speculative trade. I'm looking for this to hold. We still have downtrending pressure and a support area, so we need to see which one is stronger, if the price can escape this downtrending pressure, and then we'll have more over here. So like I keep saying, these stock patterns just take time. You need to be patient for these things to work out. So we may react here again, possibly as these continue lower, and then the price reacts here again. We could get above these moving averages. Then we'll have the cloud to contend with, possibly come down and hopefully find some uptrending support from the 9MA by then, and possibly get into the cloud here. That's a pretty thick cloud with a flat top here, so it's going to take some time, and it's just a lot of wood for this thing to chew to get back up to its highs there. This is a pretty significant resistance area with these long wicks. Price reacted, was defeated at this area a few times here at about $39. Tilray still under downtrending pressure. Looks like volume's kind of fallen off on this. There's our volume there. Let's look at Tesla. So Tesla has been reacting to this resistance area I have drawn right here at about 710. It's kind of a range between 710 and 720. See the flat area of the top of the cloud here? That's strong resistance, and we've been reacting to this area multiple times. So unless price can get above this resistance area just gets stronger. We are above the Tinkinson line here on the daily chart, so let's see, on the 4-hour, are we above the cloud? Well, we're testing the top of the cloud here. We've got the uptrending Tinkinson. There is a chance this could find some support from this uptrending Tinkinson and try to defeat this resistance area here. I think we're going to need some good bullish market sentiment to do that. We will see. But I wouldn't be taking this trade quite yet here. I think this is more of a selling opportunity right here than buying. So, CHPT charge point. This thing has had a nice bounce. 4-hour chart here, and we're reacting to the top of the cloud. This is our downtrending resistance. We do have an uptrending Tinkinson line. This thing is bounced pretty sharply here. I think it's a little bit late to take position now. We've got the downtrending cloud on the daily chart. So we've just jumped right up and tested that. This stock looks pretty strong if it can escape this downtrending pressure. Another one that's up quite a lot in a short amount of time. So we did have I drew Fibonacci on this the other day. It's about a 70% retracement level here. This is where we reacted. So I would say that's a missed opportunity for now. Possibly a pullback to this Tinkinson line and look for that to hold. If you want to try to hope for this thing to get through the cloud, I would look for price to at least stay above this Tinkinson line and the Kijinsen as well. We're starting to get across here. I'll see how that pans out. Let's look at Gevo. I took a trade on this because the way it's kind of holding the bottom of the cloud here. This hasn't broke down as much as a lot of the other clean energy or EV stocks. We do have a price below the top of the cloud, but I think that if the clean energy sector starts to recover, this could be a strong mover. So we'll see how this goes. We do have a TK cross right here, but this is still downtrending here. So we're kind of undecided here. When price is inside the cloud, it means undecided direction. We're not sure if we want to break out and go up or break out and go down. Fell below the cloud a couple times and got right back up into it here. Kind of interesting. SNDL, sundial, this thing is under downtrending pressure. I drew a trend line here. This thing is trying to form possibly an uptrend here. We get into these big overbought areas and decline for some time. So let's see if we can hold this trend line. Right now it's not looking too promising. Let's see, Snapchat. I wouldn't be buying this right here. I think this was an opportunity if you wanted to try to bottom fish this support area I drew right here. And now we're reacting to this resistance area. Actually, we're up here. We've got this downtrend line. So we've got a number of downtrending resistance areas and this kind of this triple top, flat area of the cloud here. So this is looking pretty high risk as far as downside. It's difficult to find the good opportunities. I think that we've just rallied so much out of the COVID crash, and some of these things are just up so big. All this gap up area here is basically no support. A little bit of support maybe in this zone here, but I see a lot of downside risk in these, especially these that are gapped up. Now we've fallen below the cloud here, and we're kind of mingling with this downtrending Tinkinson line, kind of hugging it. We're trying to get above it here, but this flat area of the cloud is going to be a problem now with this downtrending Kijinson line. So we've got a lot of negative things going on with this stock price. This thing has been quite a downtrend here. Little oversold. See how oversold we were here, how far we are from the cloud. But we've still got downtrending momentum. This thing's just been getting clobbered. Let's see where we came from on this. We don't have a lot of stock, a lot of history. This was our best area of support. This where we IPO'd here and we reacted here, and we've fallen below that. So the only support this stock has now is basically this range, or maybe the bottom of this wick here. So let's see how ExxonMobil's been doing. This thing is kind of rolled over here. We've had a TK cross. Basically, as long as price is above the cloud, it's you want to look for buying opportunities. But this thing had quite a bit of momentum, and now we've had this TK cross here. So we could be reacting here. This could be a cap, keep us from going higher. We just need to wait for this to work itself out. If you want to enter this, I would wait for a pullback closer to the 50 MA or the cloud, so you can limit your downside risk and look for that area to hold. Genius Brands, I had this trend line I drew here. We're looking for that to hold. If that breaks down, then no telling where this could go. It could go clear back down to this double bottom at $1. For right now, this trend line seems to be trying to hold here. A lot of volatile price action going on here, and funny shapes in the cloud that really don't give us good accurate support areas other than just this trend line that I've drawn. Indicators are doing a lot of funny things because of the momentum in this. So we've got a downtrending Tinkinson line coming in here. DraftKings, this thing's been a nice uptrend. This could be a buying opportunity here. I mentioned this when we came down and tested this trend line here. Now we've had a TK cross, but we're trying to get above this Kijinson line here right now today. Long position here looks interesting right now. You could limit your downside risk and look for price to basically stay above the top of the cloud, and now hold this Kijinson line we're trying to get above. So we still have an uptrending Kijinson line, and we've gotten above this downtrending Tinkinson. So this is looking a little bit promising here. Let's see. TRVN. Nice downtrend going on with that. OCGN, somebody asked me to do a review on this, and this gap up offers no support. Falling below the cloud, we're under downtrending momentum. Pressure from Tinkinson. A little bit of a support zone down here. So I see a lot of downside risk with this. Coming clear down here to $3 to $1.50 range. Maybe even lower. I don't like getting into something that's gapped up like this. Like the opportunity is long gone. Looking at the long-term chart, this thing gaps up and can just spend months bleeding off. So I would avoid stuff like this, especially when we're in this downtrending pressure like that. This thing's been pretty dead. Nokia and OK. Big gap up here. Quickly sold off. Back down to basically flatline. Yeah, this stock is just waiting for more news, another catalyst. It looks pretty dead. SKLZ. Not sure how this ended up on my list, but this is looking pretty oversold right here. Way away from the cloud. Trying to get this downtrending Tinkinson line is pretty steep. This may see a pullback here. Just an oversold pullback. This looks like about a 70% retracement from where this started. Could be an opportunity for a high risk swing trade just based on a pullback here. The downtrending Kijisen line is going to be downtrending resistance when we get there. This may start to curve down here. So a trade on this, look for it to hold the 200 MA right here. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Pretty oversold, downtrending Kijisen line here, so this stock doesn't look like it's got too far to go really before it starts having more downtrending pressure. Over here we tested the cloud a bit. So really you shouldn't be looking for long positions in something that's below the cloud like that. It's just, I don't think you're going to get much out of it. SOS is gapped up today. It's up 24%. I think that's an oversold bounce. I don't see any significant news. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure about the news on this. I don't see anything significant. This looks like an oversold bounce, maybe reaction. I drew this support area here based on these couple candles here before it gapped up again. And we've got the 100 MA. So it looks like we're just going to bounce up and test this downtrending pressure here. So I'd say if you're in this and losing money, this today's bounce is probably a selling opportunity. So you don't take as big of a loss, but we are above the Tinkinson line here, so this could try to push up more, test some more downtrending areas. Let's see how the blue chips are doing today. Things are kind of flat. A lot of these have had a big run. I Just looking at this AMD, this is kind of underperformed. We've got this long-term rising trend line here. This could be a buy opportunity for AMD if it's going to hold this rising trend line. We've got some wood to chew with the downtrending cloud here. Some of these long-term investment quality companies, I tend to look more at the trend lines than I do at the cloud. This trend is awfully steep, so it's not liable to continue forever. We've been in a pretty good bull market. This is 2016 right here, so 10 years. Or let's see. Alright, this is a 10-year chart here. So 2016 to current, pretty steep trend there. So yeah, if you want to try to trade this, I'd look for this trend line to hold. We're trying to get some uptrending support from Tinkinson. We're above the Kijunsen here. Google's at all-time high. Generac, I took profits on this because of this TK cross here, and it was my biggest gainer. But we're staying above the cloud here, so, and we're getting ready to cross again. So I think I'll just get back into this. It's a good company. Uptrend is pretty steep though. This thing has just gone parabolic since the crash here. So that's one thing that had me a little concerned with this. Watching for this TK cross on this thing just because of how much it's up. Alright, I'm going to sign off for now.